Alright guys, we are in the second week of the Harrowstorm DLC PTS version 5.3.1, and this time around the patch notes are much smaller. We still have a lot to dissect on this YouTube channel from the original PTS patch notes from week 1. There isn't really much to really look at here. They added some template to help us test some other stuff at a more lower level. In terms of dungeon, the new DLC dungeons, Ice Reach, they just fixed a few issues. They haven't really nerfed or buffed Ice Reach. I think the Ice Reach hard mode is fine the way it is. I'm not so sure about the Unhallowed Grave, and we did do the both hard mode dungeons like pretty easily on the PTS, and there's 2 videos showing this on the channel if you guys want to look at it later. Yeah, but otherwise there's no nerfs or buffs to either of the dungeons yet. I think, in summary, if you want to know my thoughts on the dungeons, Ice Reach, the boss fights prior to the last boss hard mode is a bit underwhelming. We kind of find out the mechanics of the prior bosses on the last boss in hard mode, rather than the other way around. For Unhallowed Grave, it's kind of the opposite. Like, most of the boss fights except that one dude with the 2 flesh Atronachs is pretty fun. But the last boss hard mode is kind of underwhelming, so I don't know what they'll do with that. So let's see, monsters, nothing really there. Break Free no longer removes the stun associated with the target's salvo ability in Frostfall. And they fixed an issue where off balance could be removed via Purge. I mean, that's a pretty good change. I don't think you should be able to proc or purge off balance, especially with the changes to it for Harrowstorm DLC. And fixed an issue where the animation of Break Free was cut short if you began blocking. You will still enter the block state as you input the command, but your client will now allow the animation of Break Free to finalize before transitioning into the animation of block, as is the new behavior with block. Fair enough. And probably the biggest note you can take away from this patch note: decrease the delay before your character animates the block animation after weapon swapping to better match what is currently seen on the live mega servers. So basically, if you watched my previous video on the Harrowstorm DLC changes to block, the biggest concern of mine was this delay in which when your character swaps bars, there's like a really huge noticeable difference between PTS and live where your block drops for like an entire second compared to the 0.3, 0.4 second delay, or less depending on your ping, for your block bar swapping on live. So just to show you guys here, I am on the PTS right now. So we're gonna actually go back to the Kagudi World boss and show you guys what it now looks like. It's basically the same as live, but just in case people don't believe me, we're gonna go to the Short Tusk World boss, just like the last video. And notice that compared to the last PTS video we did on the bar swap with block thing, it's much more fluid. It's exactly pretty much the same as on live. And there's no delay. So this is probably the best thing they could have done, honestly, in regards to the block changes. I'm glad that they reverted that terrible 1 second delay before your character put up block. And I think this was good. I think they got the idea that it would have been terrible for the combat of the game to not have a delay, basically. But yeah, a lot better, feels a lot better. So really good news for a lot of us, not just for PvEers who are tanks, but it, like in that VHOP PTS raid I streamed yesterday and the run you can find on my channel, it's like it artificially made things harder for everybody involved, DPS, healers, tanks, because like everyone had to get used to these to the new timing of block dropping upon bar swaps, so that kind of made things a bit dicey for a lot of boss fights. And I'm not exactly sure if they fixed the bug where block just kind of stops working. Yeah, that's something I think that has to be stress tested. I'm going to try to do it right now, but otherwise, guys, that's pretty much it for the patch notes. Okay. It feels like... So the bug with the block is when you get CC'd, I think, when you bar swap. Or while you're blocking somehow. So I'm not exactly sure if they fixed it or not. Hopefully they did, because the block bugging out is not a very good thing. Hopefully that was fixed with the reversion to the delay in block. Yeah. Anyway, the rest of the patch notes kind of deals with other issues. Fixed an issue where his abilities damage did not properly generate hit reactions against enemies. That's the Dawn's Wrath ultimate for Templars. Sigil Order, Concentrated Barrier. They re-enabled passive for PTS testing. And they fixed a couple item set issues, like fixed an issue where the Juggernaut heal could critically strike. Robes of the Hiss now displays a visual effect while the proc condition is met. And let's see. That's pretty much it. They just updated privacy policy in accordance with California Consumer Privacy Act. And yeah, that's literally it. Pretty short patch notes, but I think the biggest takeaway from these patch notes for everyone in this game was this, and then this second. That this change was probably gonna make this patch much more enjoyable. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for Nefis and chilling. Stay safe.